Hello, my friend, and welcome to today's episode of School Wealth. We are currently on day 19 of the COVID-19 lockdown. I'm broadcasting here from a studio in Boise, Idaho, and my team is in Las Vegas still working, so everything's going good on this end. And I wanted to spend some time with you today just to encourage you to go over some things that you can be doing right now to better yourself, maybe start a business, maybe better your business, enhance your business, make it more profitable, so on and so forth. Let me turn off my laptop because it is dinging, making noise over there. So like I said, day 19 of the COVID-19 lockdown. I'm quarantined with my dog here in Boise. And this is the sixth day in a row that we've had less cases every day. So it's getting a little bit better here in Idaho. I don't know about the rest of the states because I don't have the news, and I try to avoid mainstream media altogether. And I don't believe half the stuff that I see on Facebook or Instagram. So I'm kind of avoiding stuff. I'm not really keeping track of it. Partially because I'm working like 16, sometimes 18 hours a day. I am busier now and working harder now than I have in years. Partly because the credit repair business, Fortress, is just booming because people know this is the absolute best time of their lives to fix their credit because the banks, the credit bureaus, the collection companies are all minimal staff. A lot of banks are closed down, so they can't respond to our disputes. They're legally still required to follow the Fair Credit Report Act. The Fair Credit Report Act has been modified, which I'm going to go over that today on the show, how the Fair Credit Report Act has been modified and how that benefits you, as well as some strategies on your finances. So I'm going to go over that a little bit later, but the Fair Credit Report Act has not been modified to where the banks don't have to respond, even though the CFPB has put out a notice that the credit bureaus can ignore frivolous disputes, which we do not do frivolous disputes. A lot of companies do, but that's not how we work at Fortress with our disputes. And that's one of the reasons that we can charge after the fact, where the other credit repair companies have to charge you for trying to fix your credit. They charge you a monthly fee regardless of results. At Fortress Credit Pro, we only charge you for actual results. So, like I said, day 19, I am locked up in my house in Boise and enjoying it. And the other reason that I'm so busy is Ed Milet and I started a company called Milet Management Group. If you follow me on social media, you've heard me talk a little bit about this. Milet Management Group is a financial services where we help people create wealth, we help people grow their wealth, and then we help people protect their wealth. And we do this through financial instruments that we've teamed up with these companies, one of which is Aegon, which is a $500 billion company. That's right, with a B, $500 billion a year. They're enormous. There's 9 companies in the world that are too big to fail. Aegon is one of them. So Ed Milet, Edwin Aria, you've probably seen him on Housewives of Beverly Hills. He's married to Teddy Mellencamp, which is the daughter of John Cougar Mellencamp. A-Rod, the baseball player, John Elway, Marshall Falk, Damon John from Shark Tank. We've all teamed up together to create a company called Milet Management Group. And I have been working almost around the clock. I'm actually sleeping a little bit, but when I say I'm working 12 to 16 hours a day, it's not an exaggeration. I've already hired over 20 people in the last week. I'm going to hire up to 500 or more people by the end of the year because our company's growing so fast. And if you're interested, by the way, if you're interested in learning more about this opportunity, how you can work from home, which is pretty cool right now, right? During COVID-19 shutdown, we're working, my team's working, we're making money, we're growing, and we're helping people. If you're interested in learning how you can work from home, we provide you the leads. There's a couple things. You got to get licensed, so you got to get your health and life insurance license in your state. You can't have a felon. You can't have any misdemeanors doing with money. There's a couple other little requirements there, but you got to be licensed. Got to be able to take a test, get licensed as be able to be a life insurance producer is what they call producers in your state. And then we provide you the leads, and you help people with their 401ks, their IRAs, their 457 plans, or 413s, 403s, all of the other financial instruments, and as well as life insurance and some other products. So we help people create the wealth, protect the wealth, and grow the wealth. So Ed and I, and Edwin, and A-Rod, and Ali Zamani, and Zane, and there's a whole bunch of other dudes on there, and women. Francesca, if you follow Francesca online. We're just kicking ass right now. So it's a good opportunity. If you're interested in that, you can reach out to me on Instagram. If you don't follow me already on Instagram, if you're watching this on YouTube, which I assume you are, follow me on Instagram. I share lots of information there. So enough of that. Let's talk about what you can do to make the best of your time. Number one, turn off the TV. Turn off Netflix. Turn off Amazon Prime. Turn off whatever you're watching. Definitely shut off the news. There's nothing that the mainstream media can offer you. Nothing, absolutely nothing that the mainstream media can help you with. So shut it off. Number two, get some books. There's a lot of books out there. I've recommended a lot. You can go to Google and type in top 10 best books to read. I like all of Robert Kiyosaki's books. I like The Richest Man in Babylon. Joe Dispenza's got some great books. My favorite books that I'm reading right now, the entire series, I think I'm on book number 5, maybe 6, is the Don Miguel Ruiz books. You can find that on the show notes. So if you go down to the show notes, you can click on my link. That'll take you to my top 10 books that I recommend. The four agreements, 5 levels of attachments, mastery of self, mastery of love, and all the other Don Miguel Ruiz. Right now I'm reading the 5th agreement, and it's really helped me get through a lot of my past, my baggage, and help me become a better person. So turn off the TV, stop watching Tiger King, turn off social media, and start studying, start reading, become a better person, better father, better mother, better husband, better wife, better kid, right? If you're a son or a daughter, just become a better person in general. Here's another thing. I know that people are saying to wear masks, wear gloves, stay 6 feet away from people. Just stay home. Stay home. I think it's a lot of hype, but we're in the middle of it. I personally will not wear a mask. I'm personally not wearing gloves. And the reason why is I'm a retired fireman. I know masks and gloves don't work because, one, the N95 masks have to be fitted for your face. If you're buying it online, it's not fitted for your face. If you're using a bandana, it's not fitted. The next thing is if you walk into Target and you got a mask on, and then you touch stuff with your gloves, and then you take the mask off when you get in the car, you just brought the COVID-19 into your car. When you reach into your pocket to get your wallet, you've now contaminated your wallet, which now has contaminated your pants, and then you take your pants and you put them in the laundry. Now you contaminated all the clothes in your laundry room. See how that works? So if you're in a hospital, you change that mask. If you go into a room and you're contaminated, you take the mask off, you throw it away. There's a way to take gloves off the proper way. Most of you listening have never been trained on how to wear a mask. It's not fitted. Like for me, for example, with my beard, the mask wouldn't work anyway because I have a beard. It is sad watching people get upset with each other for being within 6 feet, which I understand that with the coughing and all that stuff. But the COVID-19, if it gets on the outside of your mask and then you touch it with your hand, put your hand in your pants, like I said, to get your wallet or your purse, you just moved it all around. So unfortunately, the best thing to do is just stay home. That's the best thing to do. Stay home, read your books, get online, start studying, right? Listen to podcasts, watch some good videos. Ed Milet's got a great podcast. Andy Frisella's got a great podcast. Start working on this. I'm pointing, if you're watching on YouTube, pointing at my head. Start working on your mind. You've had 19 days at home, most of us. Use the best of it. All right, let's talk about the Fair Credit Report Act. Government has changed and modified the Fair Credit Report Act in this way, that furnishers, so that's a bank, credit bureau, a bank, collection company, that's a furnisher, people who furnish, or companies rather, that furnish data to the credit reporting agency, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, are mandated to not report any late payments on any account, with exception of one, and I'll explain that in a second, not to report any late payments until July 15th, as of right now. So the credit reporting agencies are required under the modification of the Fair Credit Report Act to not report late payments. Even if the furnisher provides that data to the credit bureaus that you were late, they're not going to report you late. If you have current collections or if you have current charge-offs, those can still be reported late. Anything prior to January 15th can be reported late. After that, till July 15th, you cannot be late. So that's some good news. And so those of you that are struggling financially and you're worried about messing your credit up, the good news is, and I've been saying this on social media this whole time, is that the government would come up with some rule, they would edit or modify the Fair Credit Report Act so they're not going to report you late on your credit card payments, your student loan payments, which I think student loans are delayed now until September 30th. So if you do miss a payment, it's okay. They're not going to report you late. However, these banks are giving you deferments. Deferment doesn't mean forgiven. A deferment is a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day deferment. So I have a 2019 GMC Denali. I practice what I preach. I financed it because it's always cheaper to buy a brand new vehicle financed because of the commissions that the salespeople make from the bank. And so I financed the vehicle. Why would I finance a vehicle when I can pay cash? Well, because if I get 1% or 2% or even 0% financing and I use the cash in one of my apartment complexes or single family homes or some other investment vehicle that I have, I would rather make 12 to 20% off of my investment and 0% on the car. So I finance everything that I can. I might do it in a way that if I had to sell the vehicle, if I had to sell my truck right now because I ran out of money, I'd throw it on Craigslist and I could sell it even today because I owe very little on it, but it is finance. But anyway, I got a email from GMAC, that's who it's financed with, and it said that if I wanted to skip the next 3 months of payments, I could do that. I can get a 90-day deferment. Also got it from my Wells Fargo business credit cards. I don't owe any money on them, so I don't have any required payments on the credit cards, but it said I could skip up to 3 months of payments. Here's the problem with that. It's a deferment. You're going to have to owe that payment. So if I skip the next 3 payments on my truck, in 4 months, all of those payments will be due. Now, most of us, 76% of Americans anyway, are paycheck to paycheck. So you're not getting paid, most likely right now. Maybe you get $1,200 from the government. That's not going to help out much, but it's a start at least. But if you start deferring your payments out, eventually you're going to have to catch them all up. Maybe the government will come out with some type of bailout program like they have with the CARE Act, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But as of right now, if you defer your payments, you're going to have to eventually make those payments. So I highly recommend that you do not skip payments unless you absolutely have to. And if you have to, start calling your banks now. Call your credit card companies, call your utility companies, your cell phone carrier, your internet carrier, your landlord, whatever it is. Okay. Most leases have clauses in there that COVID-19 is not excluded. So for example, on my business lease, There is a clause in there that says that if my business is shut down due to a natural disaster or a government shutdown, I don't have to pay rent. So I didn't pay rent this month, and it's saving me about $8,000. Why? Because my lease says I don't have to, because COVID-19 is not one of the exclusions. Here's the other thing. If you're a business owner and you lose money, which my company's already losing money because a lot of my clients lost their jobs or they're temporarily furloughed, and so they're not paying me either. And so I'm going to file an insurance claim against my losses because COVID-19 is not excluded on my general liability in business insurance. So if you're a business owner, look at your policy. It might cover your losses. Mine does. COVID-19 is not there. I got a phone call from Hartford, which is who I'm with, wanted to sell me COVID-19 policy. I said, hell no. Why? Why would I recommend hell no to COVID-19 rider? Here's why. Because if you sign up for the COVID-19 rider, it backdates and now it's excluded in the shutdown. So if I took the rider, I can't file the claim in the future. I'm going to file the claim when this is all said and done. I'm filing a claim with Hartford on all my losses. All right. Now, speaking of losses, if you're a business owner, there's a lot you can do right now with the CARES Act. The government doesn't get much right, but on this case, the government's got a lot right on this one with Trump. And right now, it's about a $2 trillion bailout, and that is the CARES Act. So we have what's called the EIDL, which is an immediate $10,000 cash advance, up to $2.5 million loan if you're a business owner. And then we have the PPP, which is the Payroll Protection Program, which is up to a $10 million loan for a business, 75% of which will be a grant and forgivable. I applied for mine a week ago. It opened up last Friday for the PPP. I sent all my paperwork into my bank today to get that. I should get about, they're thinking about $400,000 to $500,000 loan from the government, which 75% of it will be turned into a grant as long as I use that for my payroll. So let's talk about that. You go to sba.gov. If you're a small business owner, you can apply. What's a small business? It's any business under 500 employees. So any business under 500 employees, which is probably you. It does not have to be incorporated. So it doesn't have to be an S Corp, doesn't have to be a C Corp, doesn't have to be an LLC. If you're an Uber driver, you qualify. My son, for example, drives for Uber Eats and Postmates. He qualifies for the $10,000 advance, as well as up to the $2.5 million loan. Now, it's all based on his tax returns and how much money he's making. So obviously, he's not going to get $2.5 million when he makes about $40,000 a year driving for Uber, but he will get some money. If you are a dog sitter, a babysitter, a house cleaner, a massage therapist, contractor, plumber, electrician, whatever it is, as long as you are filing a tax return, and that's the key, filing a tax return. If you're not filing a tax return under your business or under your personal Social Security number as business income, you don't qualify for this SBA program because you're not filing a tax return. Notice I didn't say anything if you're making money. I said if you're filing a tax return. So don't reach out to me and say, and this actually happened because I did a YouTube video on this. Rondi, I sell marijuana, obviously illegal. Can I qualify? No, because you're not filing a tax return on that. I had another one. Rondi, I do house cleaning, but I get paid in cash. And I don't file a tax return. Can I do it? No. You have to file a tax return. So go to sba.gov and pick the EIDL or the PPP. The PPP is for business owners that have employees with payroll. If you don't have payroll, the PPP is not for you because it's a payroll protection program. So you're going to go under EIDL. Like I said, you can get up to the $10,000 grant or cash advance up front, most of which this money is going to be forgiven. Okay, and you can use this. The other thing you can do if you're short on money is you can actually pull money out of your 401k right now, and you don't have to pay any penalties or taxes on it. You get up to 2 years to pay it back. that would be last resort, because what happens when you pull money out, yeah, you're not paying taxes on it now, but when you put it back in, you're going to pay taxes put it back in. So you got to be really careful with that. So that's like last case scenario. Like that's your only option to avoid bankruptcy is pulling money out. You can do it. And I'm sure there's going to be some type of exemption to where you don't have to pay taxes on that money going back in. But right now you don't pay the 10% penalty going out that you normally would, as long as you pay it back within 2 years. So there's some of the things you can do. SBA.gov. You also want to get some books. Like I said, you got all this time. Turn off the TV, turn off social media. If you are going to get on social media, follow some guys like Ed Milet, Andy Frisella, Ali Zamani, me. Watch our YouTube stuff. Start reading books. Start becoming better. If you are interested in joining Ed Milet's team and our company, you're not a felon, and you got $100 to pay for the background check, and you want to work from home, and you want to help people, then reach out via Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Send me a DM. I'll get you the application. I'll get you the Zoom link so you can get on the Zoom call. I do one every Wednesday and every Sunday that goes over the team and how we work, compensation, all that stuff. And then stay home. That's it, man. Stay home. I know it's tough. Hey, I'm on day, what day am I on? I'm on day 17 of phase 1 of 75 hard. And it's been a life saver to be doing 75 hard right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to 75hard.com. Check out my friend Andy Frisella and his program. But I'm clear. I'm not drinking. I'm working out twice a day. I'm drinking a gallon of water plus. I'm eating healthy. I'm reading. I'm meditating. I'm taking my 5-minute cold shower. I'm doing my 10 minutes of visualization every day and meditation. And I'm doing my 10 minutes of breathing by Iceman Hoff, which is helping me work these 12 to 16 hours every day. So keep your head up. Make the best time. Make the best out of this time that we have at home. It's almost over. I think it's going to get better. Use this time to work on you. Use this time to become a better person. Use this time to get all that stuff that you never got done. And go out there and kick some ass here in 2020. So I'll see you next week.